This is one of my favorite windows. I think they call it a Norman window. It's a square on the bottom. Sometimes you see it as a rectangle, but this one is a square. That means that all the sides are the same measurement, S, 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 S. And then right on top is a semicircle. It's a half circle. If you went down on the bottom, you'd have a full circle. The distance from the center to any edge is the same distance. It's called the radius, right? Okay. You're asked to find the area a sub 1 of the square as a function of the area of the semicircle, which they're going to call a sub 2. Sort of like that last problem we saw, but a little bit more complex. Okay, so a sub 1, here's our solution, is the area of the square. Area of a square is side times side, so it's side squared. Then a sub 2 is what we call the area of the semicircle, so it's half the area of a circle of radius r. 1/2 pi r squared. Half because it's a semicircle, it's half a circle. But in the sketch, you can see what the radius is. If this distance on the bottom, all the way from this side to this side, is a distance s, then the distance from the center to any side is half of that s. So the radius in the sketch for that semicircle is s divided by 2. So take this equation and plug in the number s over 2 for the radius. So the area sub 2, the area of the semicircle, is equal to 1/2 times pi times the radius is s divided by 2 in parentheses raised to the second power. Okay, so let's square s squared over 2 squared would give us s squared over 4, and then 1/2 times the 4 in the denominator makes an 8, so we have pi times s squared over 8. That is the area of the semicircle. Now, that's fine, but we need to substitute a sub 1 in place of s squared. We were just saying above here that the area a sub 1, scroll down, the area of the semicircle a sub 1 is s squared, and we need that in this equation. So we're going to just replace this s squared with a sub 1. We do it right here. So a sub 2 equals pi over 8 times a sub 1. Now you think you're finished, but go back and read the question. Find what? Find a sub 1 as a function of a sub 2. So we have to have a sub 1 equals something that has a sub 2. So all we're going to do is isolate the a sub 1. And how do we get rid of the coefficient pi over 8 that's multiplying? We multiply by its reciprocal on each side, 8 over pi, and we get a cancellation. So we did 8 over pi times a sub 2 equals 8 over pi times the pi over 8 times a sub 1. These guys cancel and these guys cancel. Then we turn it backwards and we'll get this. A sub 1 equals 8 over pi times a sub 2. And we're finished.